Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Kalika and this is day 3 of Revenge Week 2.0. So you're going to be jalapeno levels of spicy after watching this video. P.S. The giveaway is still on until this Saturday, card in the top right if you want to know how to enter. Larceny? How about jail? Got booted from Pro Revenge for not being pro enough. This story starts in my multimedia class. It's an art class, and this day we were pairing up with partners. I had gotten up to talk to the teacher, and then my friend called me over to ask if we could partner up. I obliged, and we worked for a little while. After a few minutes working on the project, I noticed I didn't have my phone. I walked back to my seat, and clear as day, the $50 I had stashed in my phone case was missing. This $50 was more of a sentimental object, as it was given to me by my stepdad and it was printed in 1974. After that, I panicked, and spoke up to the people in the table if they had taken it. They all denied quickly. Knowing something was up, I consulted another friend. She knew these people personally and thought they had stolen it too. She then went over and asked. They continued to deny it. I asked the teacher if she had seen it. She called the school police and after the class I was sent there. I sat for 2 whole hours. I missed 7th and had to stay an hour after school. They interviewed the 4 and 2 of them fessed up to stealing, but said they didn't have the $50. After that, I got picked up by my stepdad. My stepdad is a money collector, and because of the sentimental value of the bill, he had a picture and a serial number. Knowing these boys were complete idiots, me and my stepdad went to gas stations and stores in the radius of the school. We asked if they had bills that fit the $50 serial number. Eventually we got to a 7-Eleven. The 7-Eleven had a bill that matched the serial number and printing date. The clerk offered to show us the security footage of who had used it. Booyah. The 2 other witches were right there, red-handed. I took the video and we relaxed as we went home with the $50. The next day we go into the school police's office. We showed the footage and they said that they would handle it. These boys already had been in trouble for smoking and dealing pot, beating up and shanking others, and other cases of theft. This case violated one of their parole requirements. He's in jail and is awaiting trial. Supervisor scams my dad and buys a laptop. Backstory. Okay, so this isn't something that happened to me but to my dad. This happened when my dad was dating my mum, so I'm not in this story, nor are my sisters. Also, it might be important to mention that this is my first post, so if anyone reads this, feel free to comment and let me know if I did anything wrong. So, my dad used to be a banker for a Switzerland-based bank in Dubai. The bank had events and games for their employees who had gotten the highest amount of sales. My dad was one of them. The scam. This year, the company had arranged a trip to Las Vegas for their greatest employees, but the trip was cancelled due to problems. The company, wanting to keep up the hopes of the employees who were worthy of going for the trip, decided to hold some casino games in Dubai. In Dubai, it is illegal to gamble with real money, so the company created fake money to use instead of real money. The fake money in the end could be traded for real money or some gifts. So, my dad and his co-workers played a bunch of games and in the end, they were pretty loaded with fake money. A supervisor knew that my dad and his co-workers had a lot of fake money. The supervisor had more, and decided to help them. D is dad. SS is stupid supervisor, CW, co-worker. Stupid supervisor. Oh hi, Dad. Hello, stupid supervisor. Is there something you needed? Actually, I was wondering if you and co-worker could give me all of your fake money. Why would we do that? I don't know, maybe because I'm your supervisor? Dad not wanting to lose his job. I understand that, sir, but we worked hard to get this money. Alright, look, I already have the most money out of you and your co-worker. So I thought that if we pulled in our money and won a few more games, we would have a lot. I will split the money equally after. Dad and co-worker hand over their money because they thought this was a good idea. Also, they didn't want to lose their job. A stupid supervisor promised he won a couple of games and by the end they had a lot of money. The next day, stupid supervisor walks into the office with 2 brand new laptops. 2. This may not seem like a lot to you rich boys, but to my dad who worked a lot to become a banker, it seemed like a lot. Everybody congratulated stupid supervisor on the 2 new computers and nobody thought about it too much, except my dad and his co-worker who still hadn't received their share of the money. When they inquired about this, the stupid supervisor just said, "What money?" and left for his work. Now, apparently my dad says that this was a good thing. Let me explain. There was another supervisor who watched the stupid supervisor take the money from the poor, helpless employees. Let's call this supervisor Joe. Do you remember that I said this was around the time when my dad was dating my mum? Joe was good friends with my mum's dad, my maternal grandfather. My grandfather started asking whether dad was a good guy or not. Joe told my grandfather that he was a kind, straightforward type of guy, all based on my dad giving stupid supervisor the money. So that worked out. but we still haven't given the stupid supervisor his sweet, sweet revenge. The revenge. My dad made it his personal agenda in life to make sure that stupid supervisor was fired. He snitched about it to all the surrounding supervisors that this guy stole my dad and his co-workers' money and wasn't giving it back. Unfortunately, the other supervisors just sighed like this was normal. But my dad didn't stop. He took it to the highest representative of the branch he worked in, and the stupid supervisor was promptly fired. Think it's over? Oh no. The stupid supervisor had started working in an oil company, and my dad was still angry that he hadn't gotten his share of the money. In a lot of countries, they take this seriously as fraud and can get you a massive fine or even arrested. My dad told the boss of the stupid supervisor to be careful as he was likely to do fraud, and wouldn't you know that this loser, stupid supervisor, had done fraud the very next day. He was sent to jail with a massive fine. Hurt my daughter? Have a taste of your own medicine. This isn't my story really, but my grandma's. This story is pretty old, older than 30 years, but still funny as crap. On mobile, so sorry for bad formatting and such, all names have been changed. So, my mom, a teen at the time, did not have good taste in men and started dating this guy. Let's call him Jim. He would seclude her from her friends, and when she moved in with him, told her she couldn't leave his apartment. He then later broke her arm when she tried to contact my gram. He thought that it was a good enough warning and went to work. My mum, on the other hand, walked to her childhood home, broken arm and all. To my mother's surprise, my grandma was calm, took her to the doctors, and told her that she's home now, and tomorrow they could get her things from his apartment while he was at work. And did just that, although most of it was destroyed. The revenge was already planned out without my mother's knowledge. Later that week, my grandmother was invited to a big party by her friend Jessica. They were very close friends, worked together even. My grandmother showed up to this party, talked to everyone, got friendly, and then disappeared into the shadows. She emerged from the shadows by Jim's work, knowing he closed alone each night. She then proceeded to key his car, smash his headlights and pop his tires. Didn't take long for him to close and come out to find his beloved truck and my grandmother waiting for him. He threatens her, and she retaliated by beating the crap out of him, ripping his leather coat, his shirt, and taking his keys when he tries to run from her. She quickly drives home, hides the evidence in the attic-like area, then makes her way back to the party and makes herself the center of attention. The next day rolls around and 2 officers are at the front door. They're questioning her about whether she assaulted Jim. She of course said no, and gave the police the names of most people at the party. The time some people couldn't remember where Gram was, Jessica piped in about Gram having been with her most of the night. My Gram is 5'2", and at this point she was just a bit chunky, looked like she couldn't hurt a fly. The police see she has an alibi and thank her for her time and leave. Never heard from Jim again, and my mother healed nicely. Jessica did not know what was going on, but knew if the police were involved then Gram would need an alibi. That would be amazing to have a friggin' ninja as a grandma. Took me 2 years to get revenge. Was originally posted on Pro Revenge, but was removed and I was told to post it here, so I copied and pasted it. So I met Entitled Bully back in the 8th grade when he was dating my friend. Shortly after they broke up, she began to harass me. Now, me being a guy, I never acted on it because I didn't want people to know a girl was bullying me. It went on for several years, with her having other people gang up on me to make fun of me for how skinny I was. Things that I had repeatedly told her to stop commenting on. Sometimes she would get physical and shove me into lockers. Eventually, my junior year in high school, I moved because of my dad's job. Entitled Bully seemed to have forgotten about me, but I don't forget anything. Here's my revenge. After she got into college, she always posted Instagram photos of her drinking and smoking weed, party videos every night on Snapchat, at least skips school 3 times a week. She's 19. I took screenshots and video recordings of all of this. Last week, I finally sent an email to her school's alcohol awareness director with photos and videos of her drinking. I told her I was a concerned friend and was afraid she would flunk out. I thought they'd make her take some AA meetings or something. Nope. Apparently her school takes underage drinking very seriously along with drug use. She wasn't kicked out of the college, but she lost her scholarship she was given and had to pay every penny back. I sort of feel bad, but she put me through years of torture and causing me to have depression episodes to this day. Edit 1. So I have just confirmed by 2 friends that her parents were paying for her college, so now not only does she have to pay back the scholarship, but her parents are forcing her to drop out. Not confirmed if she's being kicked out or not. I have a really short story of a time when a bully attempted to bully me. I probably need a little context for this one. So, my brother is 4 years older than me, and I grew up very much like a tomboy, watching WWF, practicing the holds on my brother and vice versa, playing video games and listening to rock music and things like that. When I was in primary school, which is ages 4 to 11 here, I would say I was around 8 or 9. There was a girl in my class who was a bully, but I didn't know that until a little bit later. So we were all lined up in the playground to go back to class when she came up to me and asked me to give her my lunch money. I just looked back at her thinking, why the hell would I do that? And I just told her no. She walked away and I thought it was just a weird interaction. I later found out she would usually just intimidate the other girls to get what she wanted, and unfortunately that worked for a little while. So yeah, that's the story of the time I unintentionally stood up for myself. Okay, so that's all for r/RegularRevenge. I really hope you did enjoy this one. As always, if you do want to see more content like this, then please do subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!